Monday, July 6, 2026, in the courthouse of the Chickasaw County Boardroom. We have Supervisors Suko, Sawinski, Carter, Hackman present. Breitbach will not be here today. We also have Board Secretary Sheila Shackleton. Is there approval of today's agenda as presented? Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve today's agenda. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Scott. Aye. Travis. Aye. Isaac. Aye. Jake. Aye. Motion carried with the absence of Steve. Approve the minutes from last Monday, June 29th.
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve the minutes from last Monday, June 29th for publication. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Travis. Aye. Isaac.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Jake. Aye. Motion carried 4-0 with the absence of Steve. Approve the fiscal year 26-27 wage for Sharon E. Roberg, EMS Department 2565. Sheila.
Yes, you guys had approved the new fiscal wages on June 15, 2026. And when we were entering everything in, we realized there was an error on Sharon's. It was, so this isn't a working document. So we just have what we had from last year and then we try to build off it. And so she was given a different position throughout the year and since her wages increased.
Is there a motion to approve that wage for payroll reasons? So.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Isaac to approve the fiscal year 26-27 wage for Sharon E. Roberg, EMS Department at $25.65 per hour. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Scott.
Aye.
Isaac.
Aye.
Travis.
Aye.
Jake. Aye. Motion carried 4-0 with the absence of Steve. Receive and file Chickasaw County Sanitary Landfill close continuation of the reduction termination plan. On June 24th, Chad Humple, our landfill director, got a letter from the Iowa DNR. I'll just read it a little bit. The Department of Natural Resources has reviewed the leachate collection system shutdown plan delivered on your behalf by HLW Engineering Group on April 29, 2026. The plan proposed a 2-year trial shutdown of the water leachate collection system. The plan proposes monthly monitoring of leachate tank level, measuring the 5 leachate examiners, and inspecting for the leachate deeps. If this trial is successful, Chickasaw County will determine how to permanently decommission the 1986 collection tile system and tank system. When the trial shutdown is complete, provide DNR with a summary report and decommissioning plans no later than July 14th, 2028. DNR approves this plan as written. Please notify the DNR of any changes to proposed plans or schedules. So this letter was welcome news that they did approve our plan that we submitted. So Chad will shut down the collection, monitor the leachate meters, and inspect the leachate deeps. So pretty much, if you guys don't have any questions, just receive and file that we received it on June 24th, 2026. Motion by Travis, second by Scott, to receive and file the DNR letter dated June 24th, 2026 for the Chickasaw County Sanitary Landfill. Any discussion? If not, we'll call. Travis.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Isaac.
Aye.
Jake. Aye. Motion carried with the absence of Steve. I don't know if I have any public comments today.
There's no written.
No department head, elected official. All right, move on to engineer Roman Luntz. Good morning, Roman.
Morning, all.
Action item is review and approve Iowa DOT federal aid agreement for competitive highway bridge program, CHBP, project BRS CPBP, CO19-119, GP19, and BRS CPBP, CO19-125, a GB19.
Sorry for that. So this is a federal aid agreement. This is the two bridges that we did receive a grant, up to 80% eligible construction costs to be covered by CHBP federal grant. $1,670,680 for Perrin 119, which is Bridge 2770 on V28 over the Watson-Pinnakin. And then the other is $528,000 for Perrin 125, which is 19,680 on South Lynn over a small stream. These would be let tentatively in January, constructed around this time next year. So about $2.2 million in grant.
Authorize the chair signature.
I'll move to approve chair signature. Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve the Iowa DOT federal aid agreement for competitive highway bridge program. Any discussion? It's always great news, Roman, when we can get some money like that.
Currently applying for another one too, so.
If not, do a roll call. Scott?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Isaac? Aye. Jake? Aye. Motion carried 4-0 with the absence of Steve. Department update.
So last few weeks, try to summarize it. I was on vacation for a full week in between, so Division 1 contract rock's complete. Division 3 is completed on 6/30. Division 4 is underway, mowing. We're nearly complete with round 1. We got a small portion left in Alta Vista. And as we got men and machine available, we'll hit round 2 on hard surface. It's not been a good year for mowing. Just grass is growing like crazy, weeds. Blades been out pretty much all the last 3 weeks if they're not doing other work, specifically contract rock, and then we have been doing a lot of dirt patching. V56 box culvert project that was closed on 6/22. We set the box last week on 7/1. Planning to pour the pavement this week, tentatively Wednesday, weather pending. So hopefully sometime, not this week, but the following week, we get that stretch roadway open. All 60-mile-an-hour signs are now in place on hard surface roads throughout the county. Bridge 2000, they are still working on bridge removal on that. It's been interesting to say the least. We're dealing with a lot of bedrock in there. They do have the bridge down, working on getting it out of a hole and getting the existing piling out of the rock that they're keyed into. So aside from that, they've been hauling in a lot of fill. The B22 project from Alta Vista to Highway 63, planning to start with cold in place tomorrow. Still a plan. Engineer's office building work is progressing. Looking like an estimated move-in date of early September, tentatively. I guess I'll keep you guys updated on that as it goes on. And right now, working on the 2026 CHBP grant submittal. Chickasaw did make the list of bridges to be included in the application through the grants committee. Working through submittals, we'll be doing letters of support countywide. Probably have you guys do one too. I'll do a template for you. So with that one, estimated cost of the bridge replacement is $1.28 million. Currently hoping that we'll get 80%. So that'd be $1,024,000, and that would be the bridge on V14 south of Highway 18 towards Ionia, Winters Lake Overflow Bridge. I did submit 10 bridges for that, and that was the one selected. We'll take whatever we can get, in my opinion. So prior weeks was more of the same. We did do a lot of dirt patching, crossroad culvert replacement, several last week. Week prior to last week, I mean. Bridge 1960 on 150th east of Windsor. We opened that on 6/17. Had an intercog meeting on 6/18. Like I said, this week is gonna be pretty busy. I just asked that anybody, B22 will be open. Single lane traffic with pilot cars, just be courteous to the workers, drive slow.
Was the speed limit sign replacement coming all done?
That's complete. Last one was put up this morning. There was only one left. I think Sam just ran out of a sticker, so. But yeah, they're all in place. I have one member of the public that I'll share a letter with you guys saying that we shouldn't be doing it because speed kills. Which is kind of ironic because every meeting you go to, whether it's with law enforcement or just the engineers, it's speed is a high contributor to fatalities. So I don't know why the state really did it, but they did it. So, and I don't think we have any areas that aren't advised lower where we can validate taking it away, going to 55.
Yep. Any questions for Roman? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Review and approve and authorize chair signature to an amendment to service agreement, which was signed in November of 22 between Chickasaw County EMS and Mercy Health Services. Mercy Healing. You guys got that letter in the packet from Aaron Flugel, the CEO. Please review the amendment to service agreement also enclosed. We have removed the first duty under Exhibit A, services, where we would provide you with cell phones. Otherwise, all other terms and conditions of the original agreement shall remain in full force and effect.
Joel brought this to me last week, I looked at it, reviewed it. I recommend
Motion authorized chair.
No.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Isaac, second by Scott to approve the amendment to services agreement with Mercy One and EMS. Any discussion?
Yes, I heard that. Oh, there it is.
Yes, authorized chair signature, yes. If there's no other discussion, we'll call Isaac.
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Travis. Jake, aye. Motion carried 4-0 with the absence of Steve. Discuss county buildings and department locations. I moved this like 2 weeks after the very first initial discussion about this. Today is July 6th, first day of the fiscal year 26-27. Numbers look better that I saw on Wednesday. We're not quite there yet to present them, but I think with the state running to a 2% tax asking on GB and RSB, I think we have to consider consolidation of county buildings. I did get a phone call. I did send a phone call to David. I had a gentleman, actually two gentlemen, asked if the LEMC building was for sale. They were going to actually submit a bid today that we were going to open. And I said, I don't think we're quite there yet. But there is people in the public that is wondering if they could buy one of our buildings. David did confirm we could review it like we did with 910 East Main. We still have to have a public hearing to sell any county property. I think we still need to get some research done of what that building's worth, that location's worth, and if the board is willing to sell it. So there's two offices that actually work out of that building. I think 3 individuals work out of there, and then we do have a little bit of storage for about 4 departments. You guys all know we own the Heritage Center, South Lynn. Plenty of room for all that, and then some. Just wondering if there's any other discussion. So my vision is this. Once the engineer's office moves sometime in September, it opens up the back engineer's office, currently housed by Roman, and then the front. My vision, talking to departments and other people, We would move into the main area. The back room would become an overflow of IT storage for the IT department, paper, etc. There is a door that interlocks both of those rooms. We would try to move this desk into the main office. Our backs would be up against that door. The public would be in the front on an angle. I think it's been talked about that we need better IT stuff for virtual meetings, bring in HR people, insurance companies, so they don't have to travel to Chickasaw County. Maybe 2 screens, one in front of us, one behind us. I know that was mentioned by Scott to me. So the public can see what we see, and then we can see what we are getting presented. Most counties are that way now. This room would turn into early vote election, storage for election equipment, testing of elected equipment, other things that Sheila could use for elections. So you don't have to keep moving stuff. I heard that from the custodian that he's moving stuff 3 or 4 times up to the election and then at the election, where you could just store the stuff in here, and then the auditor's office could test and train and have it more efficient for them. Like you guys heard me say this before, we would sell the LEMC, hopefully before budget work session in January, February. I think we have some excess money from interest / approximately 400,000-ish in revenue more than was guaranteed. So just in revenue alone, not even talking about the give backs yet, but the revenue alone was 350 to 400,000. 300.
Yeah.
So 300,000 in revenue alone. That was not predicted. So we'll get the numbers next week. Just letting you guys soak this in.
Well, we put it in when last year's budget or this year's budget. I mean, we predicted it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, so we received.
We received more than what we predicted.
Yeah.
Any other discussion on the timeline? I mean, should we hire somebody to look at the old engineer's office to get that ready for us, if that's what we think we're going? Or give me ideas of what we should use that room for. If it's not us, if it's not the attorney, if it's not EMA, if it's not, just throwing out all these potentials.
I like that idea,
Or do you want elections over there?
but the only question I got is how long will it take if we would, the heritage, as far as,
So we have a rough plan of a demo on the north wing. I forgot what architect firm we hired. Just to demo it was gonna be 70 to 80,000, I believe.
but I mean, how long would it take to get something set up, so,
I feel contractors are wanting to do work right now. There's not many houses going up. There's not,
So you're gonna be in the same issue again, remember, if you're north 206, which sounds like you will be, between demo and construction, you're gonna have someone, a licensed architect or engineer, or someone draw up the plans, and have to put them out for public bidding on the state bidding website and go through the public hearing and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's gonna be a public improvement project with the 206. But just keep that in mind, that's gonna be required. You're gonna have someone sign off on the plans and put together an estimate of total cost to get all that ready for it.
did you, Scott, talk to the,
Talked just briefly with the architect that had looked at it the last time. He's with a different firm now, but he still had a lot of the same information, so supposed to try to reach out to him again later this week and see what it is he could and couldn't do. I agree. I think supervisors need to move into the engineer's office once he's out of there. The only thing I just asked is that we get it ready for us as far as the IT, so we can have Zoom or Teams meetings and everything. So it's all that's done before we move over there. And then I think we need to move EMA and the county's attorney office to the heritage Well, as soon, if we got public interest in the development purchase of building, I think we need to do it as soon as we can. I realize that's not gonna happen tomorrow, but
Dave, have you had time to go down there and look at those square footage?
I haven't
Not
done it
yet.
this week. I just want to state for the record that I have had people call and talk to me about Iowa code, which is 331, 322, subsection 5 specifically, which states that the board of supervisors, you guys shall quote furnish offices within the county for the sheriff and at the county seat for the county attorney and some other folks. The board shall furnish offices with fuel, lights, and office supplies. So does that prohibit that office from being out there, my office from being out there? I think it's open to interpretation. The code does not say the office must be located in the county seat. It says that you're supposed to furnish offices at the county seat. How do we measure that? Is it, within the city limits? Is it within the city limits plus the the zoning jurisdiction? Is it the mailing address? I don't know. I think if push came to shove and something happened to me tomorrow or 6 months from now and that office is out there and someone said, no, I want my office in the city limits for some reason, I think you would have to actually furnish them an office space in the city limits if they ask for it, but I don't read that as mandating to be out there. Keep in mind, we had a number of years before I got here told where the office was not in the city limits. It was north end of town. So it's not as though this would be a huge radical change. It was outside the city limits. I could hold it to the city limits. And now we would be back out of the city limits. I understand the code is the code. It doesn't matter even if it's a couple hundred feet versus, 15 miles to one of the corners for the county. It's still not technically at the county seat. But I guess there's no case law on this. There's very little case law on what county seats are. They're kind of a old standby from hundreds of years ago. I've reached out to some folks and no one seems to want to give me an opinion on this one way or the other. They basically say that, yeah, it'd be nice to have the office there, but I know there are counties, and it seems like more and more counties, when I see the surveys from the County Attorney's Association, where the offices are not actually in the county seats. They're moving them to annex offices across the street or somewhere else in town. I think this is very similar. It feels like you're in town. I mean, it's right on the edge, but it technically isn't. I don't read this code as mandating the office be here. I read it as you need to furnish an office for all of those elected officials at the county seat if they requested it. And I think if push came to shove and someone said, no, I don't want my office out there, that'd be the feeder. Would be me, but
We got one right over here.
correct. If anyone else says that, I think, yes, you would have to furnish them somewhere within the city limits. That's how I read that.
But just like we furnish an office for DHS.
Right.
How many sheriff's offices are not in Waukon? Fayette.
The sheriff's office has to be within the county. And the recorder, treasurer, auditor, county attorney, county surveyor, engineer, county assessor, and city assessor all be at the county seat. So within the county for the sheriff, at the county seat for all those other offices. And it doesn't say provide office space. It doesn't say must be located there. It says furnish offices, which is a different term that we're not used to. And it says they shall furnish offices with fuel, lights, and office supplies. And interestingly, the code section right before that says provide suitable offices for meetings of county conservation. So as I read that, the legislature knew how to say provide offices or mandate that offices be located there. They instead chose the term furnish offices. But if someone wanted to read that narrowly, that being a future county attorney or someone, I think they probably could mandate it be here. But I read it broadly to say you could offer it here. And you would have to offer here, but there's nothing to mandate. That's all. And again, you were technically providing and furnishing offices outside the city limits for a number of years.
So you just brought up a name that we are building a $700,000 office for that's not in the county seat then.
That's not the city limits.
I know, I was thinking that.
No. Yes, it's furnished offices at the county seat for the county surveyor or engineer. So you're already, and again, it's the same concept.
It
I mean,
is.
my goodness, it's a stone's throw from the city limits at most. I mean,
I believe it's outside the city limits. But it's
so if someone wanted to challenge that, I guess they're free to challenge it. I don't, who knows, I shouldn't make the statement, but I don't see a court saying that if a citizen brought it forward. I can see a court saying if a engineer, a treasurer, someone, if you move Matt out there and Matt downstairs said, I don't want to be out there, I can see him challenging that and then saying, no, you have to furnish that office in the county seat.
But furnished doesn't mean your primary office or your secondary office.
Yeah, it doesn't say the office has to be located there, it just says furnished offices.
Yeah, if you had
And we
to
talked
work in
about
my office, you could do that.
Right. And we talked about that with remote work becoming more and more popular. I mean, these code sections were written 150 or 200 years ago when, 100 years ago when horse and buggy was a big deal to get to the county seat. Now it's just not like that anymore. Should it be amended? Probably not, because I don't think it comes into play. It's not high on anyone's priority list to change it. But I think if you interpret it as the way the life is today, I mean, does that mean we're gonna have to have, if we're sharing some of these positions 10, 20 years from now, how does that work if you don't share offices? And your office is really a computer. Because it does go in to talk about the next line, the board is not required to furnish the county attorney with law books. So again, I think we're talking about supplies as opposed to actual locations. That's how I read it. It's more focused on, you need to make sure that they have
The tool thing.
the tools to work, not necessarily the location to work. That's why. But I want to make sure on the record that's out there,
Yeah.
because I have had some
And
calls.
that's 331.
331, 322, subsection 5.
Thank you.
How
And it
much,
does, and it talks about even further down, subsection 7 says, provide necessary office facilities and clerical assistance for the county compensation board. So they use a different term, furnished offices, different than the other terms in that section. Sorry.
yep, this ain't the first time we've been here. How much prep work do we want to do for the old engineer's office? Is that gonna be under $10,000 for technology? And we got the owl already. We can relocate that smart TV ahead of us. How much work do you guys want Denny to work on prior to September? My goal is to get some of the stuff out of the machine room and the engineer's office, get them settled in, and then start something like in September. Look at what they take out for cabinetry, scars on the walls.
Yeah.
You guys want Dave Gorman to get somebody in line for some paint and texture work, some carpet? I mean, it all takes time to get people lined up to do some of that work. Isaac, any thoughts about us moving over there?
Yeah, I like that idea, us moving over there, helping her with elections and our flow a lot better.
Oh, that'd be nice, yeah.
Better lighting.
That's the main criteria right there.
And I'm hoping that carpenter could get this desk torn apart to get it through that door.
Do we get to keep our edge?
There might be room on the wall sides, but I think we need to line it up like I know Floyd County has, a line of 3 rows of chairs. You don't set them up, don't have to take them down.
You put a little desk in the corner.
Little cushion.
Speaking of 150 years ago, newspaper press desk. I just would say, I think it would be beneficial, I've said this since I moved here almost 5 years ago now, to have sound system with a working microphone so you can call in and do those types of things. We struggle whenever anyone tries to call in here, hearing people and then hearing the comments from the public.
Yep. And I think we all should have microphones too.
Yes, that's a huge upgrade, just that alone. It's kind of a pain in the butt to call in and try and do a remote agent because
And then some people I've seen in other counties hang their owl upside down and it fixes itself when it's upside down on the ceiling, but it could be a little higher up there. We could still use a pedestal or make a bracket or something, but. And then maybe a podium. They can speak for them too. Go with the times, with new law changes of access to a public meeting. So just let Dave Gorman know, see what we're gonna do in August, September. Get those guys. Are you guys okay to move forward with Scott talking to, I forgot his name.
Mark one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll get the ball rolling on that.
And then, you know, we are having EMA meeting in the future. There was supposed to be one this week, but I think it's gonna be next week, hopefully, to figure out what's gonna happen with that budget and the future of what that looks like. I'll put it out there like that. Are you guys, discuss county buildings? Yeah. Are you still moving forward with the concrete work on the courthouse? Like a March, April project of this fiscal year? You know, we did allocate 1.5 over to capital projects. We did transfer 800,000 for the windows. Still works in the budget. The numbers are still there. They're a little bit better than we were hoping. Again, you guys want us to move forward with some kind of concrete work, remove that step, raise that elevation up, get rid of that storage building below. I know Dave Gorman doesn't like that idea, but it seems like some of those issues are because of that stuff. And that, but then you get rid of the tornado shelter, you get rid of, you know, does that building need to be redesigned, rebuilt to carry the new concrete? You know, we have the step issue that is gradually tipping, falling away from the rest of the concrete. Maybe add that step into that fourth. There's 3 steps now, so there'd be 4 steps off the sidewalk. Get rid of that step at the door. You know, you can see where the boiler room door is higher than the walk-in door. So maybe we can carry that elevation so we can remove that step. It seems like that step is the problem. Do you want to get a concrete?
I think we need to get some prices on it, but I mean, it needs to get fixed before somebody gets hurt.
And then I did look with Dave, you know, maybe we extend the 3 parking spots further into the grass. And say pour another 10 feet to the east. Maybe not the whole curve thing we talked about before, but at least we can get 3 good parking spots for people that need to have services a year, and still use the ramp to go off. I'm thinking that could be a March, April, May project. Any other discussion? I'm gonna work with the sheriff and IT to see if we can relocate some IT stuff out of that basement. So that could be a little project too. Anything else you guys been hearing from the public, departments? I think that's the vision in the next year or two. Nothing with the community service building at this time. Nothing with the heritage. I think some places we need to clean house. The garage at the LEMC is full of treasure stuff. We need to get the engineer moved and then have an auction to get rid of some of that older stuff and see what we don't need anymore. Either it goes to recycle or auction type. And I would say that's in September, October. Anything else on county buildings and department locations? We gotta have the talks. I think the 2% it's here, so. If not, any committee assignments, Travis?
No.
Scott?
No.
I didn't have any either. Discuss future agenda items. So we'll come with some numbers next Monday for the ending fiscal 25-26. I don't know if any of the departments have any of their quarter reports done yet. So talking about next Monday, it's been asked. We've done it the last 2 years. I think it's a good 4-H / auction that either we attend or I know there's some board members that will be at the auction. So we're gonna change Monday's meeting. Are you guys okay with a 7 o'clock start? I know it's early, but the auction starts, I think, at 9. Everybody okay with the 7 o'clock?
Fine.
And the reason in the past years, we did a 1 o'clock start, but it does fall on claims this time. and I bet there's a lot
Oh,
of
there's
claims.
a,
So I
please
think,
don't do that to us.
I think to give a start to the auditor's office, that we approve claims for sure at 7. And then if there's too much on the agenda that goes into 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe we have a split meeting.
Right.
But, okay, Travis, at 7?
Yep.
Yeah, Isaac and myself. I'll visit with Steve, but.
Bob, Jake, is that okay? Gonna make it?
So for next Monday, we will start at 7, just to accommodate our young kids, and young people at the 4-H achievement auction. So if there's anything that comes up through the week, let me know. Otherwise, I know Renee's working on some policies that were talked about last week. And then Denny at some point is still working on some of that stuff. So
We did, just for the record too, I think Jake got a copy of this, the lease for the New Hampton Dubuque area visiting nurses is coming in. The other one you guys approved last week for whatever organization.
vocationary rehabilitation.
The state lady that reached out to me and spent a week going back and forth with me, negotiating and finalizing the lease, emailed me Monday after I sent her the copy Jake signed, so they no longer want to do it. They're leaving the space, or I've already left the space.
Yeah, I need to get down there yet this week to see if they're still there or turned in their keys.
Right. So let me know, and I'll email her back and let her know that I guess we're terminating it. Here's our 30 days notice. I don't know if that's their 30 days notice that they're done or what, but I just want to give you an update on that.
There's a
Nice to
percent.
work on that.
All right. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Scott, second by Travis to adjourn at 9:38. Roll call, Scott. Travis.
Aye.
Isaac.
Aye.
Jake. Aye. Motion carried with the absence of Steve.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.